actually always wanted to become a singer, but my brothers always told me that I couldn't sing. So I decided to go to piano lessons, but I quickly learned that that wasn't my style of learning instruments, so I stopped again, and then I started to teach myself to play guitar and ukulele. And I had a friend who also really liked to sing, so we started to go to a pop choir and I started singing lessons. Then last year I started to write my own songs, but I was too shy to record them at first until my boyfriend bought a microphone and I could do music at home.
What do you feel when the moon lights up the night? Alone under 1,000 stars, do you think it will be alright? What do you feel when the wind brushes through your hair? Oh, by yourself, with what has always been there. What do you feel when the moon lights up the night? Alone under 1,000 stars, do you think you'll be alright? Breathe in, breathe out, reflect, let go.
Music means a lot to me. It's like a place where you can hide, and also it's super important for me now to express myself through it and to deal with my emotions and just let everything out that is inside of my head. And sometimes my head gets really busy, so I need to let things out. And also just listening to music, and sometimes it really brings you to another place where you maybe sometimes would rather be. Making music can definitely help cope better with life. And I think now that I actually make my own music that I can't live without it, because it's like a hiding place and also just like a great tool to let out everything that you can't let out in any other way. Fuck. I grew up in a small town outside of Berlin, but I always knew that I wanted to move to Berlin as soon as I could, because I always felt at home in Berlin. I don't know, it just felt right to be here. So yeah, I think since I was like 13, I couldn't wait to move here. I got my name partly from a friend of mine. I was talking to him saying how I often feel like a teddy bear, but he told me that I'm not a teddy bear but a Furby, because Furby has more cultural significance. And so I thought, oh, wow, I'm a Furby. And then I thought, okay, I'm gonna name myself Killer Furby. Yeah, that's the story. And I don't know how I choose Killer, but I just thought it sounded cool. I wouldn't say that I'm a perfectionist, but I am really critical of myself. But I don't actually believe that there is such a thing as perfection. So I personally don't strive for perfection. I don't know if I can really describe my style, because I feel like every day I change my style basically. Sometimes I like to dress really girly and sometimes I like to dress like a tomboy. But yeah, I would say that is actually what makes my style, because I feel like I oftentimes just mix different kind of pieces from like different subcultures even, and create my own thing out of it. I can't leave the house without wearing at least 3 necklaces. Most of the time I wear all of them all the time. and I never take them off, not even if I'm in bed. So yeah, you will probably never see me without at least 5 necklaces. If I had to choose between lipstick or Kajal, I would always choose lipstick. I had a time where I often just wore lipstick and no other makeup, but now when you have to wear masks, it's not that great because you get it all over your mask and also nobody sees it, so why bother? I would say that those are definitely my favorite pair of shoes, but they are really uncomfortable, so oftentimes I prefer to just go with my black basic Doc Martens, and also one other pair I really love, but don't wear that often because those I also really like. They're a bit more fancy. When I was younger, I was definitely an introvert. I spent so much time alone, even though I had such good friends, but I just always wanted to be myself. Right now it's kind of hard. I would say I'm still more introverted, but it's easier for me to be around people. I would say I'm probably in the middle of the two, but more on the introvert side. When you're a teenager, it's like really hard to find out who you really are and where you belong, and just like this whole identity crisis of, okay, who am I? Who do I want to be? What do I like? It's really difficult. But I think I didn't have that many struggles because I realized quite quickly, but I still feel like I forget sometimes and I have to reinvent myself or find myself again. But it's also a good way because so you never stop at one point, you always grow. There are actually so many things that give me anxiety. I often feel super uncomfortable in social situations or more after social situations because I worry about everything I said and if I sounded stupid or was annoying. But also just like the future gives me so much anxiety because it's so unclear what's gonna happen, and I'm always worried that I can't do the things I actually want to do and will be stuck with a job I don't like.
I would say that I'm the most creative at night. I mean, not as much anymore, but when I was younger, I always stayed up until like 4 a.m. painting or writing or whatever. Right now, I feel like I often write my songs when I'm on the train, just looking outside the window. Many thoughts come to me. Yeah, but I don't have like an exact time. It always comes in waves, and when I get a creative wave, I just try to use it. Saying yes to everything without hesitation, even though I know I need to rest. I just don't wanna feel engraved a distraction from my life that's laid deep in a mess. Telling myself I'm just going with the flow, but deep down I know that I'm putting on a show. I'm feeling so numb, I'm feeling so numb, I'm feeling so numb. Always on the go, I'm never really coming home. I'm always on the run. I don't know where I belong. I don't know.
Ich hätte gerne diese gelbe Soße und sonst keine andere Soße. Vielleicht ein ganz bisschen scharf. I wrote my song Belong in a time where I was always rushing from one place to another because I wanted to distract myself, basically, and I didn't let myself rest and always search for new adventures and new experiences, and completely ignored that sometimes to reflect and actually connect with yourself again. I think that you can get all kinds of energies from Berlin. You just have to decide which ones you want in your life and which one you don't want in your life. Because Berlin has so much energy and it can give you so much positive energy, but it can also really drain you and take all of your energy for itself. So you have to really be aware of what you let in your life and what you don't. But for me, mainly all of the people and all of the opportunities give me so much positivity. And that's also one of the reasons why I always wanted to move here. I think when you're visiting Berlin, it's quite difficult to really experience Berlin just by going to the popular places. I would always recommend to try to get in touch with the local, because you can only really experience Berlin if you see it with a person who lives in Berlin. Just visiting without that, I think you don't really get to see what Berlin is actually like. Sex definitely is important to me, especially living in a relationship. It's just really nice to share not only the pleasure but also like the intimacy and the love, I would say. But I do think that other things are way more important than that, but it's nice and it is important to me.
Die sind doch voll nice.
If I had to choose between money or love, I would always choose love. I mean, of course you need money to survive, but money really isn't that important to me. As long as I can live, I don't care about how much money I have. To me, love is the most important thing in life. I think I wrote many love songs, but none of them are out now. But I really am a hopeless romantic, and that's also the title of a song I'm working on right now. But it's kind of difficult because I feel like every time I wrote a love song, it gets super cheesy. Yeah, so it's a bit embarrassing sometimes, but yeah, I wrote many love songs.
Boah. Oh ja, das ist wahrscheinlich
It's all over print.
Soll ich mir so eine dicke Feste?
Boah, actually ganz geil.
Wird einfach drin versinken. I can't really describe my music that well because I don't even really know in what direction I want to go with it. I feel like it's influenced by very different styles of music, so I don't really know. It's just like an extension of myself, I would say. My biggest fear is definitely losing my loved ones, but I'm also afraid of the future, and I'm really afraid of small spaces and big crowds. Aber ich weiß nicht, ob ich es anziehen würde, das ist nicht. Das ist auch nicht schlecht.
Daddy's little monster.
To me, skating definitely belongs to Berlin. I mean, I know that not everybody in Berlin is a skater, but I think that the skate scene is just so important, and it definitely belongs to my Berlin. I think what makes me sad the most is just looking at our world right now and seeing that there's still so many ignorant people who don't really care about anything else but themselves. It's sometimes really hard, but it doesn't only make me sad, it also makes me really angry. I started to get into tattooing last year while I still lived at my friend's place, who's also a really good tattoo artist. He's called Couch Tattoos. If you want to get tattoos in Berlin, hit him up. And he basically taught me how to tattoo, and I did my first tattoo on his leg. And then I started to tattoo myself and decided that I want to do it more often, so me and my boyfriend bought a machine and all the other stuff you need. And yeah, I've been actively tattooing for about half a year now. I got my first tattoo when I was traveling with a friend of mine in Indonesia, and I wanted to have like a memory of our journey, and I actually got 2 tattoos at once. The first was this one. It's the name of a Indonesian beer brand and it also means star. And the other one was this one. This was basically our motto for the whole journey, and my friend wrote it, so it's her handwriting.
Seeing that tattoos get more and more accepted is super nice, because I think it speaks for the overall changes that we are experiencing right now. I think it also speaks for how people become more accepting of different things, different people and different styles. And I think that's just really nice to see.
Okay. Jetzt geht's los.
Let's go.
My favorite tattoos are this one, because my boyfriend made it and I just really love the design. And I also really love this one because I got it from Couch Tattoos and I just think it's super sweet. Most of the tattoos I do really mean something to me because I mostly only do my own designs, like drawings I made. But also if someone comes to me with a special wish and it's because of their own story, I always get somehow involved emotionally, I would say. Every piece is something special. And if it's special for someone else as well, that's even better. I think that tattoos can still stand for rebellion. I mean, of course they're not as rebellious anymore. It's not that special anymore to have tattoos, but I think some motives can really speak for rebellion. So I think it just depends on how you're getting it, why you're getting it, and what you're getting.
Kaido! This is so crazy.
Woo! In 5 years I see myself together with my boyfriend Eric and a good friend of ours, Emil, who taught me how to tattoo in our own tattoo studio / creative space. That's our plan, and hopefully I will be done with uni by then. Yeah, that would be really nice.
I gave you ride it and you gave me games. Love figures. I know I'm crying cause you just won't change. Love figures. I gave you all and you gave it shit. Love figures. I wish I could do exactly what you did. I wish I could hurt you back. Love, what would you do if you couldn't get me back? You're the one who's gonna lose something so special, something so real. Tell me, boy, how in the fuck would you feel if you couldn't get me back? You're the one who's gonna lose something so special, something so real. Tell me, boy, how in the fuck would you feel if you couldn't get me back? That's what I wish that I could do to you, you, to you, you, figures.
Ich kann auch noch so ein bisschen rumhüpfen.
So alle, okay, she's drunk now.
So I just be, let's go.